Hello, ma'am. So this is Neeraj 20BCE1656, and I'm gonna give my J component review two for the course CSE 3002 Internet and Web Programming. So the topic which I chose are like the basics of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and also I'll give some introduction to the Bootstrap. So coming to the basics, like what is a web page and what is the backbone of web page? Like we know that a web page can be made using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Like HTML is a programming language that is used to describe the structure of information on a web page. So like together HTML, CSS, and JavaScript make up essential building blocks of websites worldwide, with CSS controlling the page appearance, that is color, shape, and border, etc. And JavaScript programming, its functionality, like clicking on a single column in a web page can take you to another web page. And also, a web page can contain headers, borders, headings, footers, borders, paragraphs, images, videos, and many other types of data. So, front-end developers use HTML element to specify that what kind of information each item on a web page should contain. And next one, like so how HTML works in a web page. So we all know like HTML is the most basic part in a web page. Like HTML file plays a couple of significant role in a web page. The structure is also very simple for an HTML. So first we use the structure created by our HTML code for reference and enhance the manipulative elements on a web page, like using CSS and other JavaScript. For example, we can use HTML to mark all the headings on a web page like web browsing page. Then pick the size, color, and which you want to apply on the headings or in that is in a web page. So and also secondly, HTML text let us indicate the roles of different structure elements to search engine and other services that index the context and summarize it for the users. For example, marking the caption of an image with an figure caption element and enclosing the image, its caption with the figure meta helps element and helps the search engine understand these two pieces of content that are related. So now coming to the HTML part. So HTML is core of every web page, as I mentioned earlier. Like the complexity of a site or number of technology involved is like we can get it from HTML. It's very essential skill for any web professional or web front end developer to know HTML. It's the starting point of anyone for getting into the web development process. And also HTML stands for hypertext markup language, as I said earlier. Like it performs it's a programming which is used to perform functions. HTML also uses several tags to identify different types of content and their purposes that serve to the web page. Markup languages work the same way as you did, like when we are in the content types. So yeah, they use HTML. For example, we use HTML tags like header tag, paragraph tag, image tag, like etc. For the specific purposes. And also every web page is made up of a bunch of HTML tags denoting each type of content on the page. So each type of content on the page is wrapped, that is surrounded by HTML tags. So this is the basic HTML structure we are getting to see. That is HTML. The basic structure of an HTML starts with the tag of an HTML and followed by the head tag, and also we can also add the title for a web page inside the head tag. That is there's also another tag or title tag which is followed inside the head tag, and this is the closing tag for an head tag. And the next thing is the body tag. This is the part where we add our content of the page, and this is the body ending tag, and this is an HTML ending closing tag. So I will give you an example. So as you can see, like I have designed a HTML page with HTML and title as my name, and closing the tag and close starting the body tag. The content I have written is my first heading, my first paragraph, and I have closed it. You can usually use Notepad for HTML for designing HTML codes and all. So I'll save this thing like I'll save this one.html with the extension of HTML in it, and I will save this in desktop. So I save this in desktop. Now this is the one which I was talking about, and this one when I open, yeah, you can see my this is the page I have created now. My first heading and my first paragraph with the title name, Neeraj. That's my name on the title bar, and so this is the first, I mean, structure for an HTML tag. So next one is tags. We'll talk about tags now. So some of the tags I mentioned here are like paragraph tag, heading tag, bold tag, italic tag, and underline tag. So I'll explain each and everything. Yes. So paragraph tags are denoted by the p tag. So which is already I have given in my first program. That is my first paragraph is the tag. I have used the tag paragraph tag for that first paragraph. Now I can take any I can use it for any other paragraph also. So like I'll now I'll just say my name is Neeraj and I am computer student and closing the paragraph tag. This is the one paragraph, and now saving this, and I'll run this one. So you can see my name is Neeraj and then I'm a computer student. It's a new paragraph which I created just now. So the next tag which we'll be talking about is the heading tag. It is also mentioned already. Heading tag is the H1 tag, my first heading, which is already mentioned in the first code itself. And now coming to the bold tag. So bold tag can be given by the B tag. So we'll now give the bold tag and show you. So given bold tag in the sentence, my name is Neeraj and I am a computer student. We should also close the bold tag when we open it. So now I given the bold tag opened as well as closed, and now after saving, we'll just run this program. So you can see now my name is Neeraj and I am a computer student is bold is now seen in a bold letters. So I use bold tag for that. And now next point is like hmm, italic tag. Italic tag and underline tag, it's similar to bold. Like italic tag uses an italic words and underline tag uses underline words. Uh, so okay. Now I'll try to do the italic one. Italic tag can be given by the I tag with the word I. So now I'm saving this and running that. So now you can see my name is Neeraj is given in an like seen in italic words. The same thing now if I take the underline tag, you can use which is used by you. Should also close for also for an underline tag. Now you can see the words are now underlined. My name is Neeraj and I'm a computer student. So these are some of the text tags which I mentioned now. So again, you can also see P, H1, H2, H1, H2, H3, and H4 are like all the tags are rendered tags, but it decreases. Like H1 will be the most biggest one for heading. Like I have used H2 tag in this web page. This is an H. This is an H. This is an H1 tag. This one first one. Now if I use H2, it will be like somewhat smaller than the H1 tag. So wait, I'll show you. Now I use H2 tag, but you can see the yeah. It is somewhat smaller than the H1 tag, and it goes on for H3, H4, H5, and H6. H6 will be the most smallest header tag. Okay. Now the another important tag is break tag. Break tag is generally mentioned by BR inside the tags. So BR break tag is generally used to show break an paragraph or a sentence. So after giving the sentence, I can give you BR. So and also very important point for break tag is that which in HTML for every other tag we use the open as well as the close tag, but for break tag only we use the break open tag, that is BR. So that's it. And now if you run, you can see the change. So now, so also the other tags are like link tags. Link tags are like A tag and base tag. A tag stands for anchor tag. You can use anchor tag to connect different pages in a HTML page. Like it anchors the two different pages. For example, you can give out the page link in an anchor tag, so which directs to the linked page from this web page which you are designing. Image tag and object tag. Image tag can be given by IMG. So IMG you can is generally from JPG, PNG, etc. You can directly link an image with an extension of JPG and PNG using IMG tag. And object tag is somewhat similar to image tag. It's also kind of a tag which uses to link to objects or more. So list tag is the next part. List tag is generally used in pages which uses like ordered, unordered lists. Like unordered lists. In unordered lists, we can take bullets, and in ordered lists, you can take numbers like 1, 2, 3, or alphabets like ABC to list to many objects. Table tag. Table tag is used to create a table, like create a extra row, delete a row, delete a table head. This T head is like create a table head. T body is creating a table body. T a column caption, yeah, a table caption. Many things can be added in a table tag. So next one is CSS. Coming to CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. The programming language dictates how HTML elements of a website should actually appear on the front end of the page. As mentioned earlier, CSS is generally used to know the style of text or the information which is gonna be present on the web page. CSS helps to style the content so that it appears to the user the way it is intended to be seen. So we can easily give this example by saying if HTML is a drywall, CSS is a paint. That is, if we can do the style whatever we want using CSS. Now, CSS is a list of rules that assign different properties to HTML tags, either specified to single tags or multiple documents. Now coming to like types of CSS, there are three types of CSS: inline CSS, internal or embedded CSS, and external CSS. All three types of CSS are used for the same purpose, that is styling the content of the web page. So coming to inline CSS. Inline CSS is used to style a specific HTML element or add a style attribute to each element tag without using the selectors. Managing a website may be difficult only if only we use inline CSS. However, but inline CSS in HTML is useful in some situation. So some of the pros for inline CSS are like we can create CSS rules on HTML page. We cannot create and upload a separate document in inline CSS. So some of the cons of inline CSS are like inline CSS, adding CSS rules to HTML elements is consuming. Yeah, it takes a lot of time and can also mess up the HTML structure. It also confuses the user like to create an HTML section. So another con is like it styles multiple elements at the same time, which can affect the page. Yeah, of course, it affect the page size and can download time of the page. Next one is like this basic structure for inline CSS. So we start the document with HTML tag, and inside the body tag, we are given our style sheet that is background color. We are given as white, and the H1 header tag we are given color red, and we are given its page padding. So and next one is the paragraph tag, which are given the color blue, and some of the like the liners it will be useful here. So, and we are now closing the body tag with HTML. This is an example for inline CSS. So here, every line that is for body line, there is some CSS style set. That is header one tag, we have an inline style set, and for a paragraph tag, we have inline style set. This is what it is said. Now internal CSS. Internal CSS are a style tag in the heading section of the HTML document. That is, after that HTML tag, after opening the HTML tag, we used to style the HTML document using the style tag present inside the H8 tag. This is actually effective. This CSS style is actually effective way to style single page. Using this CSS style for multiple pages, it's time consuming as we place the style for each and every. Some of the pros of internal CSS are like internal CSS cannot upload multiple files when we add the code with HTML page. And the cons of internal CSS are like adding code in HTML document will reduce the page size and loading time of the web page. Now, this is an example for internal CSS. As I said, the HTML tag is open and a tag is also open. Inside a tag, we use a different tag called style tag. Inside the style tag, we give the style sheet for the text or the header or body which we are going to use further in the HTML page. So in this, we are given the body that is given background color for body as black and header H1 color as red and padding of 50 pixels. And on closing a tag, on closing the style tag inside the head tag, and also now closing the head tag. So now opening the body tag, we directly can type the data or information which we have to type inside the like without even caring about the style set inside the body tag. Now coming to the external CSS. In external CSS, we link web page to external .css file. It is created by text editor. Like we can use it like from Notepad also. The CSS is more efficient method for styling website. By editing the CSS file, we can change the whole site at once. So some of the pros are like our files can have cleaner structure and smaller in size. We we use the same CSS file for multiple web page in external CSS. And cons of CSR, external CSR, the page cannot be delivered correctly before the external CSS is loaded. In external CSS, uploading many CSS can increase the download time of the website. So the given diagram picture is an example. So we can make a different document or file with the .css format, and we can save the document and link that document in our HTML page using this like link and relating of style sheet, and href is like another anchor tag which can direct to the style document which we have done. Now coming to JavaScript. JavaScript is like more complicated than HTML or CSS. Like it wasn't released in beta form until 1995. Now JavaScript is supported by modern web browsers and is used by almost every site for more and powerful web complexity and functionality. JavaScript is mostly like a logical based programming language that can be used to modify web content and make it behave in different ways in response to a user action. Common uses for JavaScript include confirmation boxes, call to action, and adding new identities to the existing information. JavaScript is a programming language that lets web developers design interactive sites. Most of the dynamic behavior you will see on a web page is thanks to JavaScript, like which arguments the browser's default controls and behaviors. So, and also JavaScript is also divided into two types: external JavaScript and internal JavaScript. So, external, coming to external JavaScript, like if you're gonna define a functionality which will be used in various HTML documents, then it's better to keep that functionality in a separate JavaScript file and then include that file in your HTML documents. Like it's somewhat similar to external CSS. A JavaScript file will have like extension.js and it can be included in HTML file using script tag. So this is an example. The above mentioned picture is an .js file which we use the function hello and for the hello world. And the below picture is an .html file. We have used HTML tag and tag at the and now we have used a script tag inside that tag to link the .js document into this HTML tag. Now coming to the internal JavaScript, we can write a script code directly into your HTML document. Like you can keep the script code in a header of the document using script tag. Otherwise, there's no restriction, and we can put a source code anywhere in the document, but inside the script tag. This is an example for internal JavaScript. So here we have using the script tag inside the tag, like we are using the script tag inside the head tag, and we are giving a functionality inside the script tag itself. Like we are giving a full functionality inside the script tag itself, and not on any different documents, and just adding it. So the next one is Bootstrap. Bootstrap is somewhat more complex than HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. So Bootstrap is free and open source front-end development network framework for creation of website and web apps designed to enable responsive development of mobile-first websites. Bootstrap provide a collection of syntax for template designs. So now, what is Bootstrap used for? We have seen the use of HTML, CS, and Java. Now we'll see about Bootstrap. So Bootstrap generally makes responsive web designs a reality. It makes possible for web page or app to detect the visitor screen size and orientation and automatically adapt the display accordingly. Bootstraps include basics for responsive web development, and so developers only need to insert the code into predefined grid system. So the Bootstrap framework is built on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Web developers use Bootstrap can uh, build such websites faster without spending time worrying and about basic commands. Bootstrap also addresses the requirements of those technologies in design and includes the UI components, layouts, JavaScript tools, and implementation framework. So why we use Bootstrap? Now, some of the advantages of using Bootstrap are it is easy to use. Anybody with just basic knowledge of HTML, CSS can start using Bootstrap. Responsive features. Bootstrap's responsive CSS adjusts to phone, tablets, and desktops. Mobile's first approach. In Bootstrap 3, mobile's first sales are parts of core framework. Browsers compatibility. Bootstrap is compatible with all modern browsers, that is Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Internet, etc. Now, Bootstrap follows a separate system called Bootstrap Grid System. This system allows up to 12 columns across a page. This grid system is responsive, and the columns will rearrange depending on the screen size. Like on a big screen, it might look better with content organized in 3 columns, but on a small screen, it would be way better if content items are stacked on top of each other. This is an example. So the example one is like we can take the main content on the like 75% of the screen and the sidebar to the next 25% of the screen. For example one, this is example two. Inside main content we can further divide into header, footer, and into two different parts of the main contents, and we can use the sidebar as like other 20 or 30% of the screen. So now we have like we can also divide the main content part into 12 different slides or columns. So which is done below now. So grid, coming to grid classes, Bootstrap grid system has like four classes. The XS, that is for phones, screens less than 768 pixels wide. SM, that is for tablets, that is screen equal or greater than 768 pixels wide. MD is like MD is also another class which is used for small laptops like screens equal equal or greater than 992 pixels wide. And finally, IG, that is for laptops. Screens equal to or greater than 1200 pixels wide. The above class can be combined to create more dynamic, flexible layouts. Now coming to grid system rules. So some of the some bootstraps grid system rules are like row must be placed within a dot container that is fixed width or dot contain fluid full width for proper alignment and padding. Use rows to create horizontal groups of columns. Content should be placed within columns, and columns may be immediate children of rows. Predefined classes like dot row and dot column, that is dots SM4, are available for quickly making grid layouts. Column create gutters, that is gap between column content via padding through padding. That padding is an offset in rows for first and last column through negative margin on rows. Grid columns are created by specifying the number of 12 available columns you wish to span. For example, three equal columns would use 3 dot col sm comma 4. Column widths are in percentage, so they are always fluid and size relative to their parent element. This is a basic structure of bootstrap grid. So we have like given a like dividing the class into container and further dividing to row and further dividing to classes, that is col comma star star and col comma star, and we are closing using the dividing tag. So now we are again using opening the dividing tag, and we are giving a class row, and we are further dividing into column, and we are also using close dividing tag to close that. So this is how we use for a grid system in bootstraps, and that's it. That's what I wish to say, and thank you for this opportunity.